bachelor's degree.
The good news about reentry in Kansas: the odds continue to favor residents who work programs and jobs as they prepare to go home.
When we have our population engaged in our private industry program, they're 20% more likely to get that job that pays a livable, sustaining wage out in the community. And when they get that livable job, sustaining wage, they're 1/3 less likely to come to prison. So if you're a business person, those are pretty good margins, pretty good numbers.
Speaking of good numbers, the attendance for this third annual symposium of the reentry program called Reaching Out from Within, or ROFW, had 150 in-house and another 150 online. A gathering of DOC workers from Kansas and Missouri with several reentry advocates from around the community, all discussing ways to make reentry better, as well as what barriers to overcome.
We're trying to set up a tutoring system, a peer tutoring system there. It's very difficult, right, in terms of the structure of the facility. Trying to arrange how do we compensate people to be tutors inside there, trying to find them.
The highlight for most was hearing the success of ROFW alums like Rob Miller, who while inside was searching for an answer.
Once I got to Lansing, I continued that searching out groups, and it was a lot of groups, but I chose Reaching Out from Within. At that time, it was called Stopping Violence, and so that's what started my change.
Today, Rob Miller owns his own business as an electrician in the Kansas City area. Another alum who eventually wants to own his own business? Jacob Waldrop, or J-Dub. This 53-year-old native of Kansas City, Missouri, is always smiling, even as he's getting dressed for his job at the Tyson food plant. What has helped J-Dub in his transition are his ABCs of reentry.
The A is any. You need any place to stay, any job, any way of transportation. That's your A's. Your B's are a better job, a better place to stay, and better transportation. And then your C's are your careers. That's your choice job, your choice car, your choice place to stay. You'll probably be at your C's for the rest of your life because those are choices that you made.
The most difficult time for people in reentry are the first few days and weeks after getting out. For J-Dub, that couldn't be further from the truth, as he suffered a stroke a month after his release.
It was a volunteer at that time that took me to Florida, and put me out there in the ocean, and took the right person to go with us out there to help, get me back on track of things, because you do 13 years and then you come out and do a month of freedom and then you suffer a stroke, you be like, oh man, life is really like down instead of being up.
Reaching Out from Within is a self-help rehabilitation program that began more than 40 years ago, led by co-founder Sue Ellen Freed, the heart and soul of ROFW. There are 357 alums with a 22% recidivism rate, mostly for technical violations, and 1% for new convictions. Despite that success, Sue Ellen hopes for radical change throughout the country that leans more toward a European model of reentry.
I went to Germany and I saw what they're doing in Germany. They don't have punishment.
No.
They have transformation. The day you come in, a social worker is assigned to be your mentor. The head of the prison is called a social pedagogue. The staff carry no weapons. It's an entirely different concept.
That concept is not new in the U.S., as there are pockets of the European model like that, such as the new geriatric unit in Winfield Correctional Facility. But there are also barriers, some within our control and some that aren't.
One of the benefits of some of the European, especially Norwegian models, is that they have much shorter sentences and they have much higher staff to resident ratios than we do. And so I think the reality of the staffing and the sentence structure that we're in makes some of that model hard to attain. At the same time, I think there's a lot that we can do within the current structure to bring more. The Reaching Out from Within Symposium talked about restoring dignity and really bringing rethinking justice. And I think those are things that we can do.
Through it all, the symposium was a day of renewed passions and new ideas of what corrections might look like in the future.